I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land.
Reverend Martin Luther King crusaded for civil rights through peaceful demonstrations. An assassin's bullet felled King as he stood on the balcony of this motel.
This is an ABC News special report.
To update you on the situation, if you're just now joining us, at least 14 dead, 50 injured. A lot of those injuries are severe after a lone gunman opens fire in a theater outside of Denver, Colorado, in Aurora.
Two U.S. police officers have been shot outside the Ferguson Police Department, local media reports. Witnesses say shots were fired as a protest took place outside the Missouri police station. The officers' conditions are not known.
Truly sorry for the loss of your son.
A few dozen demonstrators had gathered in the area after Police Chief Thomas Jackson announced he would be resigning. His going follows a scathing federal report which found widespread racial bias in the local police force.
Picture of what happened that day.
Last August, an unarmed black teenager was fatally shot by a white police officer in Ferguson. Michael Brown's death sparked weeks of demonstrations and some violence and led to the report being commissioned. Specifically, the report accused officers of violating constitutional rights and disproportionately targeting blacks.
I want to say, Chief Jackson, can we all get along? Can we get along? Can we stop making it horrible for the older people and the kids?
I was in the library, and the whole room was just filled with smoke, and I heard gunshots all over. And the two guys who were the trench coat mafia came into the library and were just shooting everyone that they could, anyone that they can, you know. And so we were all under the tables, and the girl who was sitting right across from me under the table was shot in the head right there. And I mean, it was the worst feeling that I've ever had because I mean, blood was just going all over, and I mean, I witnessed that, you know, and it's hard.
Good morning, America. I'm Charles Gibson.
I'm Diane Sawyer, and it's Tuesday, September 11th, 2001.
It is lunchtime in London, 5 a.m. in Los Angeles, and 8 a.m. here in New York, live from the CNN Financial News headquarters.
It is beautiful outside, perfect September day with lots of sunshine. Oh, would you look at Washington, huh? I'm going outside today.
Other than that, it's kind of quiet around the country. We like quiet. It's quiet. It's too quiet.
Number two.
Yeah. This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center.
A la espera de mayores informaciones, saber qué fue lo que ocurrió, cómo fue que
Apparently, a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center in New York.
現在私、貿易センタービルから1キロほど北にあります国連本部の
It does not appear that there's any kind of an effort up there yet. Now remember, oh my God.
Oh my God.
That looks like a second plane.
And this is a Fox News alert. We're still waiting to get more confirmation about this so we can independently confirm it. But according to NPR, U.S. Representative Gabrielle Giffords of Arizona was shot outside a grocery store in Tucson while holding a public event there, according to Arizona.
Ms. Giffords.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me here today. This is an important conversation for our children, for our communities, for Democrats and Republicans. Speaking is difficult, but I need to say something important. Violence is a big problem. Too many children are dying. Too many children. We must do something. It will be hard, but the time is now. You must act. Be bold, be courageous. Americans are counting on you. Thank you.
I offered Governor Malloy my condolences on behalf of the nation and made it clear he will have every single resource that he needs to investigate this heinous crime, care for the victims, counsel their families. We've endured too many of these tragedies in the past few years. And each time I learn the news, I react not as a president, but as anybody else would, as a parent. And that was especially true today. I know there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that I do. The majority of those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old. They had their entire lives ahead of them. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, kids of their own.
Police have recovered a body in the Hudson River this afternoon. The person has not yet been identified, but reports speculate that it may be the body of Tyler Clemente, a Rutgers University student who leaped off the George Washington Bridge Wednesday, September 22nd. Police have reported
devastated over the death of 18-year-old Tyler Clemente. If you don't know, Tyler was a bright student at Rutgers University whose life was senselessly cut short. He was outed as being gay on the internet, and he killed himself. Something must be done. This month alone, there have been a shocking number of news stories about teens who have been teased and bullied and then committed suicide, like 13-year-old Seth Walsh in Tehachapi, California, 13-year-old Asher Brown in Cypress, Texas, and 15-year-old Billy Lucas in Greensburg, Indiana. This needs to be a wake-up call to everyone that teenage bullying and teasing is an epidemic in this country, and the death rate is climbing.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago. Vice President?
We just need some help out here. It is so pitiful, and shame that all these people out of here, they have over 3,000 people out of here with no home, no shelter. What are they gonna do? What we gonna do? Take a look at all of this. Now what they gonna do if the hurricane come again? All us gonna be flooded. We don't have nowhere to go, nothing to eat. My grandmother is a diabetic. She's 76 years old. She out of her insulin. What's she gonna do? She don't know if she gonna live or die. We all don't know what we gonna do. So we just need some help and support.
The desperate scene as mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters arrive at the school where more than 200 girls were abducted.
There has been a mass shooting at one of the nation's biggest military bases, Fort Hood in Central Texas. 12 people killed, at least 31 have been wounded. Fort Hood's commanding general says one alleged shooter is also dead. 2 suspects are in custody, all 3 American soldiers.
We're going to turn now to the war against ISIS. Egypt launching airstrikes overnight against the group in Libya after the brutal terrorists released a video that apparently shows the mass execution of 21 Egyptian hostages. And ABC's chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross here with the very latest. And Brian, a real concern that ISIS is now metastasizing, showing up all over the world.
Exactly right, David. In fact, over the weekend, that new barbaric executions video from ISIS served to underscore that very concern. It showed the beheadings of some 21 Egyptian Christians who were captured in Libya, paraded on a beach in orange jumpsuits before being murdered.
Somewhere we must discover the world over that we must learn to live together as brothers, or we will all perish together as fools.